Very bad start of the live stream. So I will start again. Bringing your parents to the Czech Republic is basically impossible. And there is one simple reason for that. And in my opinion, it is that it's not really common in the Czech Republic to, like, culturally common to take care of your parents when they're old and when they cannot take care of themselves. In some countries, in some cultures, it's more common, and usually in our experience, these kind of nationalities or these kind of cultures try to bring the parents here, but Czech Republic is not really like that, and that's where the clash is. So I will explain a bit more. So this is, for example, a very common request from our Indian clients, because we've worked with tens or maybe hundreds of Indians, and I would say 70% of them at some point want to bring their parents to the Czech Republic. And we unfortunately cannot really help much in that, because there are some limitations given by the law, given by the Ministry of the Interior, and plus everything else which is happening at the Czech Embassy in New Delhi makes it very complicated to get your parents here. So I will at least give you some idea what might be potentially possible, or what are the rules. But generally speaking, it's not really easy, and even for us, it's very difficult to help. So the definition, basically, if you want to apply for family reunification for your parents, of course, you can bring your parents in a different way. Like, they can apply for a blue card or employee card or a business visa if they qualify, and if they can get an appointment at some Czech embassy, they can apply for any type of visa. That's like fine. But if you want to bring them for long term under yourself, so under your residence permit, under the family reunification, then there is one definition which they need to fulfill. And the definition says this, that you can only bring a parent if the parent is solitary foreign national older than 65 years, or, regardless of age, foreign national who are objectively unable to provide for their own needs on account of their state of health, if it concerns family reunification with a parent or a child with a long-term or permanent residence permit in the Czech Republic. So, to translate this, you can only bring your parents if they're solitary, meaning if you only have one parent alive. And then there is the limit either if they are above 65. So if you have one parent alive and the parent is above 65 years of age, okay, then it's completely fine and possible. Or if the parent is solitary, alone, and meets the other conditions, which means that his or her health is so bad that basically they require your daily care. But this is already a bit tricky, because if you've been living here for 3 years and now you decided to bring the parent, you will hardly justify that your parent actually needs daily care, because for 3 years they didn't need it and now suddenly they need it. So basically, if you wanted to go this route, you would need to prove that their health conditions worsened a lot, and that's why you want to move them here. That, okay, the 3 years they could live on their own because they were able to provide for themselves, the health was good, but now something happened and they cannot provide for themselves, and they need to move here. So that's where it gets complicated. So if you have both parents alive, and or if they are in a good health and they can take care of themselves, it's basically impossible officially to bring the parents here. Yeah, of course, if you want to invite them for a short visit, that's completely possible. You can prepare an invitation letter and they can apply for a short-term visa based on that for up to 3 months. That's completely fine. By bringing them here under the long-term option, either a visa or residence permit under the family reunification needs to fulfill these requirements. Another thing which I want to mention, which is important, of course, probably if you want to bring your parents, this will not determine if you bring them or not, but it's very important, and that is that even if you want to bring the parents here because of their health, you need to take care of them, all that, and you bring them here, they will not be able to be part of the public healthcare system unless they're employed. So you need to count with like very high expenses for their medical care and everything. So if it's easier or cheaper to get a good medical care in the country of their origin, might be anyway easier solution than bringing them here. Because let's say if you have one solitary parent or both, but they're in a very bad like health state, and you bring them here, let's say they have diabetes and they need to get insulin how regularly, all that, then none of that will be really covered by any of the private insurance. So the private insurance will be very expensive because for older people above some age, the prices are just like very high. So even to get them here, to get the visa, get the residence permit, you will pay some amount of money for the health insurance. Plus, basically, the health insurance will not cover any of these like chronic conditions or the pre-existing conditions. So that's one thing you also need to consider, that the expenses for healthcare will be, I would say, significant here if you get your parents here, one of them, due to their health conditions. And yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. That's probably everything I wanted to say. I will answer the one question which is here, and then I will go home and sleep. Thank you for being here today. Settle say, a friend went on 6th of November 23 and still the visa is not issued, but someone went on 20th November 23 and visa has been approved. Well, when you go, doesn't really matter. People, like every case is individual, and like if you go on the 1st of January, you can be approved like 1st of February, and your friend can be approved 1st of March, and another friend might never be approved. So it doesn't mean really anything. People can get approved different times because it's different people deciding different cases. So it's not like, it doesn't work the way that all people who went to the embassy on the same day will be decided by the same person, and then people who went the other day will be decided by the same person, like a different person, but same for all these cases. Now, like all the cases will be sent to the Czech Republic, and 2 cases will be given to this person, 2 cases will be given to this person, 2 cases will be given to this person. So every person works on a different pace. So doesn't mean anything that you applied on the same date. You will be approved in different times. Okay, guys, so there are questions, so I will answer them, but probably not as I did in the past, like 45 minutes of answering questions. So just these that are here. Mr. SE, how do you invite your parent or brother for a short stay? What is the process? Okay, so that's at least to the topic. For a short time, so up to 90 days, you can invite your parents or friends or whoever using so-called invitation letter. I've done a video about that, so just if you're not subscribed, subscribe and just search in the channel for invitation letter and you will get all the information. But generally, you go to the foreign police, you show your lease agreement, you show that you have enough money in your bank account to take care of the people, and you pay 300 crowns revenue stamps, and you get an official invitation letter, which you then send to the country of origin of your parents or friends, and they apply for a short-term visa with the purpose of invitation or visiting family through VFS or however is the application process in the country of their origin. Generally pretty simple, but you need to have your documents in order, because you can, for example, only invite someone during the period when your lease is active, during the period when your residence card is active. So let's say if your lease agreement expires in March, you cannot invite someone after March. So you can invite them, but only until March when your lease is active, and the same with the validity of your residence permit or visa. But I've done a video about that, so please go through my channel, look for invitation letter, and I explain everything there. Prosper Akoto, so do you know the things the health insurance covers? Well, generally what it doesn't cover is pre-existing conditions. Potentially it could also be covered, because it works differently in different companies. But the thing is that they're all private. and that means that they need to make money on the insurance. And if you imagine that like one shot of insulin or 1 month of insulin is, I don't know, 5,000 crowns, whatever, I don't know. So I'm just shooting 5,000 crowns, and your yearly health insurance is 20,000 crowns. So means like you get 4 times insulin, and you basically, the insurance company spend all your insurance on the insulin, then they need to definitely reflect it in the price. So sometimes some insurance companies can even like accept pre-existing conditions, but they usually increase the health insurance cost accordingly. But like what is included, generally speaking, the comprehensive care has a coverage of 400,000 crowns. So things should be, or basically everything that happens within that coverage should be covered. But then different insurance companies have different exceptions, what they don't cover and what they will not pay for. And generally speaking, that's pre-existing conditions and serious sicknesses. So, but it is different for every insurance company. Some of them ask you to fill in a questionnaire before they accept you to the insurance, and they might not accept you if you answer some questions like that you have some sickness. Some of them might accept you, but then they will change the condition. So it will either they will put it into the contract that this will not be covered, or they will increase the prices accordingly. Some other, like before, for example, we work with 6 of them, 6 out of 7, because the other one is just, we don't see any reason to work with them at this point. But in some, for example, in Unica, when we try to go and even get a quote for you, we need to confirm that you confirmed that you don't have one of these specified sicknesses. And then there are sicknesses which are like specifically named there, and you need to say that you don't have them. So every company has a different approach, but generally the things that are pre-existing or repetitive and that will cost the insurance company money are not covered. And Justin J, can I study a language in Czech Republic student visa and not the other purpose of stay? Technically it's possible, but generally only with public universities for the preparation courses. So not really just for the Czech language courses, but the preparation courses where you study Czech and you are preparing yourself for the entrance exam or for studying at some university, some specific program, then it can sometimes be qualified as studies as well. But you need to verify this in advance, because I would say most preparation courses or Czech language courses are not qualified as students, they're qualified as the other. But some of them might be accredited and might qualify as student, but you need to verify that with that particular course you want to study, and if it's possible, that will be with public universities. Prospero Koto, so I'm student and I do not get sick and I work from my home country. How can I claim my health insurance? Then I'm not really sure what you mean. So it might be best if you get in touch directly and explain a bit of your situation, because I thought you were asking about your parents, because this stream was about bringing parents, and I was explaining that the insurance is very expensive for parents, or might be very expensive for parents. But if you're asking about yourself and about like a student health insurance, that's a bit different. So please get in touch directly. When I finish the live stream, I will share the link where you can contact me or contact us generally. And if you explain your situation, I will be happy to tell you more or even send you some quotes. So last question from, yeah, okay. So Chandra deleted the message. So that was the last question. I'm leaving now. It's almost midnight. I need to go to sleep. So thank you very much, guys, for joining, and see you